Hi there. Welcome to my views and news. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Two main topics in today's live chat, but I know that questions will be asked. Comments will be written about a comparison I did today between the Oromo Liberation Army and the Pano fighters. Uh, Beniam Alimayo says, we can see you, just the top portion of you. What do you want to see? I mean, isn't it enough? Let me welcome the participants first. Simon Tesfaye, first viewer, says, hi, Sajid. How are you, Simon? Simon now is a regular participant, by the way. I don't know for how long he has been watching my views and news, but Simon is now a regular participant. We have Horner K, Mangisha, Ethio, Dark Star, always quick to ask questions. He says, hi Sajid, I watched your video comparing Ola and Fano. It was insightful and well done. Jawar is exaggerating Ola's size, claiming 1,000 fighters. They lack the logistics to mobilize such numbers. uh, Let me just respond to it quickly. Well, I don't think Jawar is exaggerating. 100,000 is not a big number. Uh, I know, by the way, how Ola operates. I don't want to disclose the way they operate. You don't know who Ola are. Maybe they are with you in Romeo. I don't want to say more. So number is not exaggerated. Firstly, problem for the Ola is that their targets are not clear, or they're waiting for the right time. Uh, Either they lack clarity or they're waiting for the right time. What is the problem which they are facing? I'll explain that in a separate video, but number is not exaggerated, by the way. Sami has joined to Hivot empty here. Rom Ticha joined to Simon Tesfaye. Mano said the end of Ethiopia as a country is very close. Well, Mano, my views for the last few years, the same, almost the same. I don't believe that Ethiopia is on the verge of collapse. I don't see it happen. But armed groups, activists, they have this desire. It's not analysis, it's just a wish, it's wishful thinking. Signs of imminent collapse are not there, I believe. Ahmed Gadi joined too. Ahmed is a member too. Special welcome to you, Ahmed. First member who joined today is Ahmed. If you want to be a member, click the link given in description section of the live chat or the videos. Back foot here to Sophonius Abraha here. Beniam says, I don't think we ever saw you walk. Honest question, can you walk? Well, I can do lots of things, but then you might want to see me do more things. So let's stop it here. Peace and Love, second member who joined today. Welcome, Peace and Love. How are you? Peace and Love has been with My Views and News for years. One of those viewers who keep My Views and News going is Peace and Love. Always stood with me whenever I faced criticism too in hard times as well. Peace and Love was there. So Peace and Love holds special place for My Views and News. Miraj here, Jafar Jamal, Backfoot says, hello Sajid, long time I am in Diridava now and the earthquake has been felt like two. Yeah, the first news story is about earthquake, by the way. Panic, which I use the word, it is about earthquake in Ethiopia. African Star says, Simon Tispa says, that's very fair assessment of Ola Sajid. They're always hiding. Yeah, I know how they operate. Perhaps it's not good because we don't want to put any group at a disadvantage by disclosing their internal strategies, which I think are not secret. Government knows how they operate. We have peace here. TE joined to Simon Tesfaye, Demisio Kibrether, Mengisto Ketilla, Ethio, Average Dom. Average Dom says negotiations already starting between Joar and Abi. Well, it's going to be very tough. Ifani Ahmed Bashe Hajira joined as well. Hajira says, I always admire your reliable information. Thank you, Hajira. Abu Anas here too. Let's start with yours. Firstly, I am open to your questions, your comments, your criticism about our video today, about Ola and Fano. I compared them, but I explain more in this live chat. Two news stories. Firstly, Addis Ababa viewers panic, really panic now. Several people, several viewers contacted me today. People are really worried now about the earthquakes happening in the capital city. Secondly, why is that government has extended curfew hours in Gondar? While government claims that things are back under government control, why is there need for extension to curfew timing in the Amhara region, especially in Gondar city? Let's start from Addis viewers. Let me speak a little, then I'll read your comments and questions. I have not seen so much panic about Addis in the last few years since I started covering Ethiopia almost over 4 years ago. People are really worried almost on daily basis. Tremors of earthquakes and tremors are getting really nasty. Last night's earthquake was 5.8 magnitude. People really felt it. And then today as well, I think around noon, there was an earthquake in Addis Ababa. Uh, Sugar factory has been damaged in Afar region, Kasim sugar factory. Government has confirmed that 80,000 people have been affected by these recent earthquakes. Affected means that they have been displaced, and most of the displacements are in the Afar region. Awash, Fentale, and Dulacha are two main places. Several Kabyles affected, displacements underway, evacuation underway. One point I want to make is that people in my country as well, in the countries too, whenever earthquakes happen, people start finding religious reasons for earthquakes. Instead of studying earthquakes, instead of trying to understand the science behind earthquakes, people start seeing earthquakes from a religious point of view. I believe that it should be discouraged. I mean, nothing wrong with praying. We should pray to our Creator. Yes, we should ask for forgiveness. Nothing wrong with that. But it's a natural phenomena, and it should be taken like a natural phenomena. uh, Government, instead of issuing statements, should start training people. Special researches should be conducted. I told you about an expert who predicted the earthquake in Ethiopia a few hours ago before the earthquake. And after this live chat, I'll share his introduction on newsaddis.com. I wrote an article on newsaddis.com. Uh, Article is about the probability of a deadly earthquake in Ethiopia. In the comment section of this article, I'll write about the Canadian researcher who claimed that he predicted the Ethiopian earthquake. And he's not just a layman, he has been working on it. How did he reach the conclusion? It's difficult. Everyone knows that it's difficult to predict earthquakes. Aftershocks can be predicted once there is an earthquake. Aftershocks happen, but the first tremor of earthquake, it's difficult to be predicted. He claims he did that. And he is claiming that Ethiopia could see, East Africa could see some really deadly earthquakes with a magnitude of around 6 to 7, between 6 to 7. Uh, that is why I'm saying that people should prepare themselves, just brace themselves for what is coming. Government, instead of just issuing statements, should launch training programs. Evacuations are underway. I have heard that military is involved too. Ethiopian military is evacuating people from Awash Fentale. Afar people, by the way, are in trouble. They are suffering. Afar is one, especially far off areas of Afar, very neglected areas. That is why people in Tigray, people in Gambela, people in Benishangal, who are not affected, people in Amhara, most parts of Amhara, who are not affected by earthquakes, they should support the people of the Afar region. Overall, I think the panic in Addis Ababa should not spread. It's the capital city. You see how fragile is the infrastructure development. I mean, the infrastructure development which Ethiopian PM has been taking pride in. You see how fragile is it. That is why I've been saying that what matters is technological advancement, uh, training of youths with skills, equipping of youths with skills, building roads, building resorts, building sky scrappers is not sign of development and advancement. Does Ethiopia have any mechanism of making some reliable predictions about earthquakes? People in Addis Ababa are feeling helpless. I mean, I never uh, witnessed this type of panic in Addis. Even when Tigray fighters were threatening to reach Addis Ababa, did not see this type of panic in Addis. Now there is real panic, but we cannot do uh, anything to stop these earthquakes. We can only brace ourselves. We can train our people. and we can pray to God as well. Nothing wrong with that. I think government's responsibilities have increased. They should take the lead and start uh, uh, calming people down. Alim says the panic is due to religious dogma. That is why I address this issue, because I am seeing so many social media posts and videos to people are trying to drag religion into a natural phenomena. Let's not do that. Black Lion joined to Amhara says, are you spokesperson of TPLF? Well, TPLF people accuse me of being spokesperson of FANO, spokesperson of RB. They accuse me of dividing TPLF. You're calling me TPLF spokesperson. What should I do? Black Lion says all condominiums are at risk because they were built by cheap material. Yes, this is what some experts said yesterday, that the types of buildings being built in Addis Ababa are not earthquake proof. Maybe people never thought in recent years that there could be so many tremors of earthquakes in Addis Ababa. God forbid if the magnitude rises above 6, that could be devastating. Perhaps now this is the time to plan. This is the time for government to intervene, that future construction in Addis Ababa, in parts of Afar, parts of Amhara, Oromia, which are affected, they should follow some guidelines. LM Gizao said, one idiot said it's because uh, Afar region was where the evolution started. This is one of the reasons being propagated by some people. Simon says arrogance is a crime against God. Yeah, nothing wrong with asking for forgiveness, but natural phenomena should be understood, I think. They should be studied. That is how we can protect ourselves. Anthony joined too from Germany. Someone says his name has 24. Is Bishaftur city sold out for UAE billionaires? What makes you say that? Jafar Jamal says, I must disagree with you. Development is a good thing and we should encourage more of it. Well, I spoke in detail. My views are clear. I believe that if your humans, if your people are not developed mentally, in terms of skills, in terms of education, in terms of exposure, if it does not happen, then just building roads and building resorts won't make you a developed country. I don't oppose infrastructure development, but I think priorities should be correct. It should not be number one priority. Neutral says in Canada, they give incentives to developers to build earthquake resistant structures. Yeah, Neutral. This This is what I'm suggesting that the government should start today. Anthony says, I appreciate your balanced reporting of news. Thank you, Anthony. Secondly, was just a quick story from Gondar, then just your comments and questions, which will respond to. Why is that curfew timing is being extended in Gondar city? Because pro Fano, pro government people say that Fano is on the run, its commanders on the run, its fighters on the run. They're dying in large numbers, and government is gradually consolidating its control of the region. If government is in full control, then why is that in Gondar city starting from Sunday, curfew timings are being extended? And Gondar has been under partial curfew for months. Situation still the same. Why? Because as I said in a video when I compared Ola and Fano, I said that Fano has this capability of disrupting, storming major cities in the Amhara. Anytime they can do that, I believe. Maybe Ola does not have this type of capability, or it's not part of Ola's plan. But I still believe that if Fano fighters to decide to attack Gonda, they can do it. Government knows very well because Fano fighters remain in control of Gonda city for more than 24 hours last year. That is why still curfew uh, restrictions imposed in place in Gonda. Devil Tube says Ethiopian scholars are taking the earthquake natural and they're telling people to take it as usual phenomena and no need to panic. What do you comment? Well, there is definitely panic which I'm addressing because, firstly, religious reasons are being cited for these earthquakes. Secondly, I think government is not proactive. Government is just issuing a statement. I think when on daily basis earthquake tremors are being felt in Addis Ababa, magnitude is rising. It means there should be some planning in advance, some planning to control damage in case of worst case scenario. This is not happening. Simon, I did not say that people should rebel against God. Yes, we should uh, fear. We should have fear. Uh, we should be humble. It's good to be God fearing. I am not saying that we should rebel, but I think natural phenomena should be studied, should be understood. We should learn from them. Horner case says no armed group can put up a fight like the Tigrayans did. Well, I think they have different models which they are following. Ola has its own model. Pano's model is different from that of TPLF. Alim says there is more panic over uncontrollable phenomena than there is about the inflation and corruption. Or Gurhan says religion is a tool used to keep people on their place. One comment from Jafar, he says, I'll tell you what it is, Sajid. With Ola, they're trying to avoid being labeled a terrorist group. They want to take Oromia intact without causing chaos. Well, Ola is a terrorist group according to Ethiopian law. It was 2021 when Ola and TPLF were declared terrorist entities. Terrorist label was removed from TPLF after Pretoria, but I don't think it was removed from Ola. So it's still a terrorist entity according to Ethiopian law. Fano was not declared a terrorist entity, by the way. Gunafir joined to University Abreha. Another member joined. Welcome, University Abreha. Horner case says, what do you think about the spy web of Ola? Still operating or they got caught? No, no, there has been no significant damage to Ola so far. But damage could happen because Sunny is now part of the planning of operations against Ola. He knows the in and out of the Oromo Liberation Army. So he can do some damage. He's an insider. But it's not that Ola's main networks have been disclosed and exposed. Rather, Ola is on the offensive. It is trying to clear Center Romeo. By the way, Center Romeo is seeing some real intense battles between Oromo Liberation Army and government forces because it was Center Romeo where Sania was based. Agunafir says Sania was working with PP from the get go. I don't agree. Said weeks ago that Saniye versus Komsa was firstly Showa versus Vilega. Secondly, it was a personality clash as well. It was a rebellion against the way Komsa Direba is running the affairs of the group. It's not that Saniye was against Ola or he was working as a PP agent. No, I don't agree with that. Teddy fan says, why is there curfew in Gondar? Teddy, curfew has been in place there, only timing has been extended. Why? Because foreign fighters are there in the outskirts of Gondar. They can hit Gondar anytime. I don't know, Alim, about this recording. Abdi Karim joined to welcome Abdi Karim. Abdi Karim is a member too. Dababe Ajata says, I don't think army group going to bring down the government. I believe people can do it. Well, some people say that armed groups toppled governments in the past. How was Mengistu removed? Uh, Others say that political movements, street movements, also toppled governments. EPRDF. How did EPRDF go? We have two examples, two recent examples. TPLF forced Mengistu out of power. Chaos brought the dismantlement of EPRDF. Hassan Volio says, what has Fano achieved? It's destabilizing the region, a good thing. Businesses suffering, development has paused, and kids aren't in school. Well, Hassan, uh, I agree with what you have written that people are suffering, students out of schools, businesses disrupted, transportation sector affected. I agree with all this. But you uh, you need to think on a larger scale. I think the main players in Amhara realized last year that if they don't start an armed struggle, they won't be able to be a major player in Ethiopian politics. Oromos have Ola, Oromos have a government as well, government mainly led by them. Tigrayans have a standing army of over 20,000. Uh, and Amhara's had Amhara Special Force and the FANU. Both came under crackdown. PM Abi's government tried to dismantle both ASF and the FANU. That spread a wave of insecurity among Amhara minds, and they took up arms. You need to understand the reason behind the narrative which is gaining ground in the region that this government is against Amharas. So, yes, they know what they are doing is destabilizing the region. Their people are suffering. They say it's part of the struggle that they are dying. They say they're dying. I mean, Fano fight is dying as well. It's not that they are just enjoying a lavish lifestyle. They are dying too. Their family members dying too. They're dying for a cause. They have a cause. You can disagree with what they think about threats to Amhara, but they have a cause. Their people support. They say if they are dying, they're ready to sacrifice. People should also sacrifice. Uzil joined to welcome Uzil. Honor case says Sajid, can Abiy Ahmed go full offensive on Fano? If yes, what is he waiting for? Well, I don't think that Abiy has been trying to pull any military punches in Amhara. No. Offensives have been full scale offensives so with the support of militaries, with the support of commando units, with the support of fighter jets and bombers and drones. But Fano fighters are fighting in small units, in guerrilla war. Such large scale military offensives don't just succeed in days or weeks. Red Moon joined too. Welcome, Red Moon. How are you? Hebrew says, I had a vision that Addis Ababa got hit with an earthquake over 10 magnitude. Well, let's hope that uh, the intensity will decrease. DMA joined to welcome DMA. Well, Alim, I saw your comment about Jawar's interview. Do share your input with me if you can through my Gmail, SAJID 67200, because I'm working on uh, Jawar's activities. So I want to understand your perspective to on what Jawar is up to. Brian Ipsa here to welcome Brian Abdir Rahman. Is there a curfew in Addis? No, there is no curfew. Oh my God. Any problem with the mic? Can you hear me? Okay. Just one last comment about the armed groups because people are commenting saying that armed groups cannot bring down the government. Well, I want to reiterate my position about the birth, the expansion of the armed groups. If you remember, I have been blaming the government, PM Abiy's government. It's not new. I've been saying for 3 years now that if anyone is to blame for the expansion, for the birth of the armed groups, it's the government. Why? Because once you block all the channels, all the roads of peaceful political expression, you pave the way for the birth, for the expansion of the armed groups in a country. This is what is happening in Ethiopia. Peaceful political dissent is not allowed. Those who criticize the government are called traitors. They are threatened, they're harassed, they're arrested, they are tortured. When you do that, you, in a way, indirectly support armed groups. So, if anyone is to blame for the birth of armed groups, it's the government, it's the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And the solution to ending armed conflicts is opening up of political space for people, for youth, for opposition parties, for activists, for media, independence of judiciary, all that go together to create an atmosphere for peace and stability in a country. I mean, Kio was not an armed group. It wasn't an armed movement. I think it was largely peaceful political movement. It shouldn't have been dismantled. It should have turned into some sort of political dispensation, political party, I believe. But Abiy saw Kios as a threat. He thought that maybe Kios would go against his government too in future. So he just dismantled the entire network of Kio movement. What happened? Kios joined Ola. Ola got stronger because of the dismantlement of Kios. This is how the governments have been indirectly strengthening armed groups. With 41 minutes have passed, I think we should end the live chat. Tomorrow we'll have this week's last live chat. Do stay in touch. If anything is not being covered on my views and news, do point it out. Uh, I'm looking forward to see your comments, your questions through email. My Gmail is given in description section of videos, sajid672000. I'll be back tomorrow for this week's last live chat. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Bye bye.